Hello, and welcome to the Patriot Connection. I'm Kirsten Holman.
And I'm Stephen Gravy. Freshmen aren't the only new faces at Wheeling Park High School this year. Patriot Connection reporter Gavin Kearns introduces us to new Wheeling Park faculty and staff.
This year, Wheeling Park welcomes 15 new members to our faculty and staff. Last week on the Patriot Connection, we introduced you to our two new administrators, Mrs. Daler and Mr. Jack Doyle. In addition to them, we also have several new faculty members. They include Ms. Amarante, Mr. Blanco, Mr. Danny Doyle, Mr. Kineski, Ms. Kusa, Mrs. Richter, and Ms. Smith. They are all enjoying their time at Park so far.
I love being up here. I love being around other people that I graduated with, teachers that I had whenever I was here, and it's just a fun atmosphere.
I love it. I was at Bridge Street for 11 years, and this is my first year up here. But I really like this age group, and I love the teachers that I'm teaching with.
Mrs. Jaginski is not new to Wheeling Park, but is a fresh face in the Fine and Performing Arts Department.
I love it at Wheeling Park. I think the other teachers have made it feel really at home. I love the students. I love that there are people from all different walks of life in one place, and it makes all of my classes really interesting.
Wheeling Park also has 5 new aides this year. They are Mrs. White, Mrs. Stan Pettit, Miss Porter, Miss Minch, and Mrs. Nesperly. Mrs. Richards is an assistant principal at Wheeling Park. She says it's exciting to have new educators in the building.
They bring new life to the classroom. They come with ambition and excitement to enter the profession. They bring with them new methods of teaching, infusing technology in our curriculum. And it's a nice situation for our seasoned teachers.
All first, second, and third year teachers take part in a teacher induction program, also known as TIP. Reporting for the Patriot Connection, I'm Gavin Kearns.
On behalf of everyone at the Patriot Connection, we welcome all of our new faculty and staff.
The week of October 15th through the 19th is National School Lunch Week throughout the United States and right here at Wheeling Park High School. Every week, Wheeling Park High School's cooks serve 900 to 1,000 lunches to our students and staff. In her 9th year as the Ohio County Schools Child Nutrition Coordinator, Mrs. Griffin says our school provides a good product when it comes to school lunches.
We're following all the USDA rules for fat and calories and sodium, and school lunches are very well-rounded meals where we're making sure that school-age children are getting the nutrients they need to thrive and to learn best. So making sure they get the right amount of calories for their age, calcium, protein, all those things go into making sure that they're ready to learn every day at school.
In 1962, John F. Kennedy created National School Lunch Week to help students and school nutrition professionals connect and share what each loves the most about school lunches.
The pepperoni calzones.
Probably General Tso's chicken. I really like it.
Pancakes. Probably the chef salad.
My favorite school lunch is chicken nuggets.
Probably General Tso's chicken.
Remember, all students in Ohio County schools receive one free lunch every day.
It's a smart time to get started on the college process. Patriot Connection reporter Cameron Miller has more.
A high school student's sophomore year is the perfect time to start prepping for college. While high school juniors and seniors should be well into their college preparation, 10th graders also have a lot to be doing. It is a good idea to start researching colleges, call and request information applications, and even make college visits. Mrs. Crucera Short is the school counseling department chair at Wheeling Park and agrees your sophomore year is a good time to start planning.
You can prepare your resume by building it with your community service, making sure that you get good grades on your high school transcript that will follow you throughout your life. So as a sophomore, it is never too early to start looking at colleges, look at different majors. Take your PSAT as a sophomore, which is a practice SAT test for a reduced rate that'll kind of give you an idea where you stand on standardized test scores for college entrance.
Attending school regularly is also important when gearing up for college. Mr. Doyle is the assistant principal at Wheeling Park and says colleges look closely at students' attendance and grades.
When you are a sophomore and start into the honors, AP, and CP classes, so we got to make sure that everybody's here, and that way you can be successful and you practice these habits as you advance into your high school and college careers.
Many Wheeling Park sophomores are already starting to plan for college.
I come to school every day. I have good relationships with my teachers, and I turn my work in on time.
I'm taking the PSAT, I'm practicing good study habits, and I'm getting involved with my school.
I'm getting involved in courses that'll align itself with a future career path and I'm getting involved in extracurricular activities like sports and the arts, like being involved in park players or being involved in choir or soccer, to look good on college applications so that they can see that I'm well involved.
It's never too early to start looking for colleges. Reporting for the Patriot Connection, I'm Cameron Miller.
Remember, you can always see your guidance counselor for further advice. We'll be right back.
Being kind to others can be beneficial to everyone. Viewing, receiving, and performing kind acts can lead to calmness, relaxation, and fewer headaches. Kindness is also shown to decrease levels of loneliness and increase a sense of exhilaration and satisfaction. People who performed a single kind act a day for 10 days experienced a significant increase in overall happiness. It is easy to be kind. Invite someone new to your friend group or table. Send out a kind email, text, or note. Give someone a genuine compliment, or just simply open a door for someone. It is important to make this world a happier place for future generations to come. Start today by being kind. This is brought to you by WPHP.
Wheeling Park's dance team is hard at work at their second year at Wheeling Park High School. Patriot Connection reporter Francesca Malinke takes a look at this year's squad.
This year's Wheeling Park dance team has already received a bid to compete in the National Dance Association competition in Orlando. Besides practicing, they've sponsored multiple fundraisers for February's trip. This year's dance team is comprised of 14 dedicated and hardworking girls. Ms. Cross is Wheeling Park's dance team's coach and danced for WVU's dance team.
This year we are planning on going to NDA Nationals for the first time. It's in Orlando, Florida, and it's at the end of February, so we're really excited about that. We just got our bid, so we're invited to go. So now we're just fundraising and getting everything ready for competition.
Last year, Wheeling Park competed in an NDA competition in Louisville and came back to Wheeling with the Grand Champion title. They also won their division and received an award for technical excellence. This year's seniors are excited and ready to compete.
As a team, we've really come together and getting well choreography together, and as a personal, I believe I've improved very well from this. After our win from last year, we've all got a lot of confidence and we're ready to go in with the new skills that we got over the summer and do our best.
We've come together working really hard with our dances, and I think we've done a lot more than we have last year.
If you're interested in joining Wheeling Park's dance team, tryouts will be at the end of April for next year. Reporting for the Patriot Connection, I'm Francesca Malinke.
You can see our dance team perform at our home football and basketball games.
'Tis the season for the cold and flu. That is, Patriot Connection reporter Connor Schultz takes a look on how to stay healthy.
Last year's flu season resulted in 700,000 people being hospitalized and over 56,000 deaths. What lies ahead this year is anyone's guess. While it's impossible to predict what this year's flu season will be like, it's important to be informed. It's difficult to determine whether you have a cold or the flu because both share similar symptoms. These include sneezing, sniffling, fever, and fatigue. Wheeling Park's school nurse, Mrs. Updegraff, explains the difference between a cold and the flu.
The common cold and the flu are both respiratory illnesses, but they're caused by different viruses. So sometimes it's impossible to tell the difference between the two, but generally the flu is more severe and comes on more suddenly.
Both of these sicknesses can be detrimental to one's health and can interrupt busy schedules. With this in mind, students and teachers are taking an extra step in avoiding a cold or the flu.
I would cough into my arms when I feel I have to cough.
I'm going to wash my hands and do my best to stay as warm as I can.
I'm going to wash my hands after I'm going to use the restroom and use hand sanitizer.
One of the most important things to do is obviously always wash your hands, and then when you cough or you sneeze, to help protect other people, you always do it in the crook of your elbow. Just making sure too, to hopefully not shake hands with or hug people who are noticeably coughing or sniffling.
If you do get a flu shot, remember that it takes 2 weeks after vaccination for it to take effect. Reporting for the Patriot Connection, I'm Connor Schultz.
Remember to wash your hands to help steer clear of the flu this season.
Now let's send it over to Patriot Connection reporter Bailey Giddings with this week's Park TV trivia.
October is National Dessert Month. This week's question is, what is the most popular dessert in America? Is it A, chocolate cake, B, chocolate chip cookies, or C, fudge? We'll have the answer when we come back.
Ohio County Schools provide students with an innovative learning environment.
This year, our one-to-one initiative begins with Chromebooks for all of our 6th graders and will expand to include the infusion of technology for students in every grade. We've put together a team of exceptional educators to ensure our teachers remain on the cutting edge of academic excellence. It's an exciting time in Ohio County schools, and we plan to make this year our most successful yet.
Ohio County Schools, together we achieve.
Drinking and driving is a deadly combination that results in over 10,000 deaths every year. More than half of teenage deaths are the result of drunk driving. If you know anyone under the influence, don't let them drive. Drive them yourself or call someone to get them. Remember that the legal drinking age is 21 years old and drinking and driving is against the law. This message is brought to you by WPHP.
Before the break, we asked you, what is the most popular dessert in America? Is it A, chocolate cake, B, chocolate chip cookies, or C, fudge? The answer is B, chocolate chip cookies. Chocolate chip cookies were invented on accident. Now, approximately 7 billion are consumed by Americans each year.
This week, Patriot Connection reporter Chloe Bryant introduces us to members of the Language Arts Department.
Wheeling Park is home to 16 language arts teachers. Ms. Brennan is the department chair for language arts. She teaches English Literature AP, AP Seminar, and AP Research. She's been teaching for 22 years, 14 of which have been at Wheeling Park.
Our department offers many courses for students to take advantage of. We have electives such as mythology, and we have CP, speech and communications. We have creative writing. We have different journalism courses and speech classes, which we work with the Fine Arts Department in conducting. And we also have, of course, our regular courses that students need to take to graduate English 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Other language arts teachers include Mr. Carter, Mrs. Conley, Mrs. Crummett, Mrs. Draginski, Mrs. Hoffman, Mrs. Johnson, Miss Mosca, Mrs. Nelson, Mr. Romick, Mrs. Strebe, Mrs. Seals, Miss Schreiner, Mrs. Weir, Mrs. White, and Mrs. Yost. All Wheeling Park students are required to have 4.5 language arts credits to graduate. Reporting for the Patriot Connection, I'm Chloe Bryant.
Next week, we are going to introduce you to members of the Science Department.
Now let's take a look at what's going on at Wheeling Park High School this week.
Tech Center 4 is open before school anytime after 6:45 a.m. If students need to use a computer to do work, they are welcome to come.
The choir is raffling 2 tickets to the Steelers vs. Carolina Panthers football game on November 8th, along with a variety of Steelers gear. Tickets are $10 each, and the drawing will be on October 25th. Ask a choir teacher if you are interested.
The choir is holding daily raffles for the month of October. Each day contains merchandise from local businesses valuing more than $25. You can purchase a calendar for $10 from any choir member. Daily drawings can be seen on the Coral Boosters Facebook page.
Boys basketball preseason workouts have begun. These are for players not doing a fall sport. Please see Coach Jebbia for a schedule.
Before school tutoring is each morning in room 222, Monday math and English, Tuesday math and science, Wednesday math and social studies, Thursday math and world language, and Friday is math.
West Liberty University is having a campus tour on Thursday, October 18th from 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Seniors attending will be transferred on a supervised school bus.
Seniors, College Fair will be on Monday, October 29th, 8:30 to 10 a.m. at Wilson Lodge in Ogilvy Park. Seniors attending will be transported on a supervised school bus. No student is permitted to drive.
Changes to the pass-fail policy. Students must receive an A in any course they take, pass-fail, in order for the P to be entered into the semester, not 9 weeks. The deadline to turn in a pass-fail form is November 16th, 2018.
On the Wheeling Park sports calendar this week, Wheeling Park's cross-country team will compete in the Region 1 Championship at Brooke High School on Thursday.
The Lady Patriots volleyball team will host a trial with Tyler and Morgantown on Thursday. JV and varsity begin at 5:30.
Wheeling Park's football team will host Princeton on Friday night. It's also Teacher Appreciation Night. All seniors will honor a teacher who's been influential to them. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. If you can't make it to the game, you can catch all the action on WPHP 91.9, Wheeling Park's very own radio station.
That's all for this week's edition of the Patriot Connection. We're on 7 days a week at 6:30 a.m., 7 p.m., and 10 p.m. For all the Patriot Connection reporters, I'm Kirsten Holman.
And I'm Stephen Gravy. Have a great day.